Have you seen people do, like, has there been people that have done a sugar fast for like 30 days straight?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's been a bunch of people. Yeah, I mean, I think Sugar Punch is one of them. He's lost like 30 pounds, I think, in 30 days. Latchkey.
So he's been eating no protein at all.
I believe so. And Latchkey as well, I think was mentioning something similar. And there's a lot of other people. And there's people that, if you look up juice fasting and that kind of stuff, that's where you see people talking about losing like 120 pounds in like 100 days. And you're not eating zero protein, because there's protein in fruit. And if you're somebody eating some vegetables here and there and stuff like that too, there's protein in that. Some people even speculate that some of the fruit that we consume might even have a little bit too much protein in it to get some of the results that were tested in some of the studies that they've done. Because with mice, I think they tried like 0% or something like that, or maybe that was some of the tests in humans, but I think it was like 0% protein, which is like it's kind of impossible to figure out how to even get that.
This is the Latchkey guy. These guys are interesting. I really think YouTube is amazing in the fact that, like, these guys are, in the grand scheme of things, they've never done anything in the fitness space before. They're just, they just have the drive and the wherewithal to say, hey, I think this is cool. I'm going to show everybody what I'm doing. And a lot of people are following these, and I think it's cool, because I think we need people like that. You need a lot of people that are going to say, like, hey, I'm just going to document everything I do, whether you like it or not. I'm just going to go ahead and do it. And so, like, him and the Sugar Punch guy, and a lot of these, it's funny, like, watching these guys. I like watching better than I like watching the people that have some real information, because they overthink it and they overanalyze it too much a lot of times. I just like watching the simple people go, like, yeah, here I had some candy, here I had some fruit. And I think hopefully more people will do that, just put themselves out there.
There's a lot of people that fast, a lot of people do like a 1-day fast, 2-day fast, like regular fasting, water fasting. And there's a bunch of people that have done for a week. I've done a fast for a week. There's a lot of people that will even fast longer. Like some people fast a whole month. I think Fauci, is that the influencer's name? Millions of followers.
Yeah, FusiTube.
Yeah, he recently posted about it on Instagram. I don't know how much was on YouTube, but he posted his experience with fasting. And I think he would have had way better results if he actually did. I think sugar fasting is superior to regular fasting when it comes to specifically losing weight and still having like really good energy. I know that a lot of cool things can happen when you fast, and I like fasting. I think it has a lot of utility.
Do you get the same things like autophagy and all that stuff? Does that happen on it doesn't happen on a sugar fast though, does it? Or do you, because you're not having,
you're getting autophagy even when you train, so I don't really know. And I don't really even know. I barely know what that word means, kind of thing.
Well, I'm just saying, do you get the same benefits, health benefits?
Getting rid of some of the cells in your body and so on. You're probably not getting the same exact. Like there's probably, not eating anything. We just live in a really interesting world though, because like you're not eating anything, but at the same time, you still have full access to like any kind of liquid that you want. You can sit there and fast and drink like a diet soda and stuff like that. So it's just interesting. I mean, I think fasting has some utility. I think fasting mixed with sugar fasting, I think we'll see some people probably mess with that and tweak that. Because to me, it makes sense to like flood your glycogen stores for a little bit, flood the liver, put some pressure on it through what you're doing with the fruit and sugar and so forth, and then just like empty it out and stuff like that and kind of go back and forth. But again, I mean, he looks great. He's always in good shape anyway. But I think one of the issues is when you do a regular fast, is like, then where do you go from there?
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that he didn't continue to have the same success after this. I'm not really sure where he stands now, but it's rare for someone to do like a 30-day fast and then just keep it off, because eventually you have to eat again. And I would imagine there would be a net gain of some weight that you hold on to, but maybe it's only like 5 pounds and maybe you lost 15 during that course. But Again, I think if you did sugar fasting for 30 days, I think you have a really good chance of losing 30 pounds. And I think if you did a regular fast for 30 days, you probably have a decent chance of losing about the same. So why would you choose to just not eat the whole time unless you're doing it for some spiritual reason or for some reason to work on your mentality?
Do you think we'll get to see any of these people who are really smart dive into this and actually like take it seriously? Like, for example, Peter Attia, he's done these long 7-day fasts. He's done like, yeah, I would imagine he's really against this.
Everyone's going to be forced to look at this, period. Yeah. Like point blank, everyone, every sciencey person on the internet, they're going to be forced to address this. And I love it because this is like so different and it flies in the face of a lot of the things that people have been thinking. It flies in the face of a lot of the conventional wisdom that's been there before. And, Huberman made a comment. I had a post the other day and he said something to the effect of like, I think some people, like he mentioned like a couple good things about it. And he said, I think when you share your experience, that's cool. But when the mechanisms aren't all the way worked out, I think that's what people have a problem with. And I was just like, fuck you.
What mechanisms?
Yeah, fuck you. You know what? All the mechanisms aren't worked out on AG1 either, and you're pumping that on your podcast. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, let's go.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. We don't need to Andrew's a friend and he, hopefully he always will be. Even I said, fuck you, but you should be able to say that to a friend. But I think that like we do a lot of like, this is science.
Yeah.
Like this, I'm science. Like what I do is scientific. I am testing stuff and seeing if it works. And then I have a group of people. I got cohorts or whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
I got a bunch of people watching that are doing this shit right along with me. And they're losing weight. And it's like, why wouldn't I share other people's experiences? Why would I only share mine?
Yeah.
Why would I not be enthusiastic and encouraged to tell other people about it when people are having awesome results? There's too many people that are stuck. There's too many people that are in stall city that need help. People need help. People need to be able to continuously lose weight. We found something. It's not foolproof. I don't know if we'll ever find anything that's going to work 100% of the time because it's very difficult for people to comply. And it's very hard for people to narrow down and to focus for a long period of time on being able to really drop their weight. But we found something that if you do comply with it, it seemed like it works amazing.
Yeah. And it's just interesting to me that people are not willing, like there's some reason that there is such a drive against sugar, like with this whole Make America Healthy Again claim. We can make America healthy again eating just sugar, right? Like if people lose weight, then like 80 to 90% of their health problems disappear, right?
And the more weight they lose, the better health outcomes they have, usually.
So, like, I don't know. I'm just thinking like in a roundabout different way. Like maybe you do go to Coca-Cola or one of these companies and start talking about sugar fat. Maybe there's something to it that can come out of it that's good.
Oh, I guarantee you the sales, like this has to be impacting stuff. Like there's thousands of people that are they're buying more sugar again. Like this is having an impact. Like it's got to be. I mean, Russell was kidding around. He's like, let's invest in Jamba Juice.
Yeah.
That's like, well, maybe we should. Maybe we should.
Yeah. No, I think that it's so interesting how so many people have a dead set. Like I know the people, like, and it's like not to put any of these people down. Like I like them all too, like Dave Asprey, right? I know he wouldn't like this because like he'd be against the sugar. And then if he did it, I think he would tiptoe into it with fruit,
He might say, I've been doing this since 1997.
Yeah. I actually invented this a long time ago, but but that's the thing is like, there's so many grifters and so many charlatans and so many people out there that are just like, they don't have the studies either. They don't like nutritional studies are not even good enough really to put out as good information for the most part.
Science is changing all the time anyway.
Yeah.
It's just you're holding on to a truth that's just a truth for fucking 10 minutes or 10 years.
Yeah. I mean,
then it changes.
Every other day, coffee's good, coffee's bad. Drink coffee, don't drink coffee.
I've been saying this, imagine Albert Einstein comes back, and he's able to like bring him back to life or whatever. And he comes back in his 2025 and he talks to Neil deGrasse Tyson and a bunch of other famous physicists and stuff like that. I don't even think quantum mechanics was even a thing when he was around. He talks to David Deutsch and they have a fucking round table. And then Albert Einstein gets up and he's like, screw you guys. I'm just keeping the same old ideas I've always had.
Mhm.
It's like, that's one of the smartest people who ever walked the face of the earth. You don't think that he would say, holy shit, I didn't realize I was actually a little bit off on that. It's like a decent guess at the time, but it's all the information I had. I didn't realize it actually worked out like this.
Mhm.
And then he would be driven to go towards what's more optimal.
Have you spoken to anybody?
Albert Einstein?
Yeah, no. Have you spoken to anybody in the bigger space? Like, I would imagine that possibly, and he's a friend of ours, like maybe somebody like Paul Saladino might be open to it. Or have you talked to anybody like any of the, is anybody out there doing it besides you, or you're kind of the first one through the wall?
You know, I know Nick Norwitz has been pretty positive about it. So he interpreted some of the studies that I shot over to him, and I think he did a video on it. I know he had a newsletter write up about it, and actually in one of the studies, it showed that ketosis had a similar impact on this mechanism of FGF21, if that is like the main player. But anyway, to address the question more directly, Rogan's reached out. He asked some questions about it, and he was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And so I sent him like some more information. He was like, "He's like, this just seems like insane." And so, you know, hopefully I'll get an opportunity to go on there. Maybe you and I can go on there together and talk about this stuff and kind of walk him through, you know, how effective this can be. It's not even, we don't even need to bother with some of the quote unquote science. We just need to talk about the results that people are getting.
I think for Joe Rogan and his comedy club and the comedians that he has there, this sugar fasting would be amazing for, like, he wants all these guys to get healthy and lose weight. And like, this is a way to get people healthy and lose weight that don't want to be healthy and lose weight. Like, everybody wants to lose weight. I shouldn't say not lose weight. They don't want to put in the hard work.
Yeah.
And if like, you don't want to put in the hard work, it's like, man, you can have some Sour Patch Kids. I'm not going to deprive you of that. And I just want you to eat some fruit during the day, maybe have a smoothie, have some Sour Patch Kids, have a decent meal at night.
How many people are still fat that aren't eating like throughout most of the day? You know, there's so many people that they're not eating breakfast. There's so many people that aren't eating until, you know, 2 p.m. And that had its day, that had its time. And that still might have some utility. And you might be able to blend this into some of what you might do with sugar fasting, but there's really no reason to not have breakfast anymore. There's no reason to do some of these intermittent fasts. And if you're going to do an intermittent fast, I just don't understand why you wouldn't at least give it a shot to try it with sugar.
It's
and then
almost like cheating, right? It's like pretty hilarious. It's like, I'm doing intermittent fasting,
but you're stuffing your face with candy. Or
but every time I intermittent fast, I'm eating Sour Patch Kids. You'd be like, man, what the like?
Yeah,
that's not a diet. That's
like,
so
there's
stupid.
a bunch of bullshit. Yeah, I have talked to Tom Segura about it as well. So he's supposed to do it soon, but I know he was traveling. He said maybe when he gets back home, he'll.
Did you watch his new show?
Oh, it's disgusting.
Like his pants?
Yeah, that was so. Quinn walked in right as that scene was happening, and she didn't even watch any of it. She just was like walking into the other room, and she goes, "Oh my God, I didn't realize this is a documentary." And I texted that to Tom, and he's like, "I got so killed."
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Yeah, it's a funny shot when he does those skits where he's playing the guy.
I guess it's no surprise. I mean, he's a really good actor. I love the interaction with the guy at the coffee shop with the cream. Like, he just gets so much heavy cream.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And it's like, you know, that happens all the time. You get like 6 weeks worth of fat from the heavy cream that they pour for you at Starbucks.
That's what always happens to me at Starbucks. And that's why I stopped going to Starbucks, is because I say a splash of heavy cream and they give you a big, it's like the whole thing's white. And then you're like, I'm done.
Oh yeah.
You know?